Stainless steel versus non-stick. I prefer the stainless steel. My roommate likes to use non-stick. So be it. Whatever they want to do, it's up to them. Anyways, stainless steel pan. This happens to be an All-Clad 10-inch. I am the old coot coming at you with another exciting video. So let's get into this. How do you make a 4 or 5 or 2 or 1 egg in a pan like this, in the stainless steel pan, without it sticking? In my case, I'm going to make an omelet today, 5 eggs. Pretty simple. It's just going to be like an egg scramble / omelet. I'm not putting anything in it. It's just the eggs, and just the eggs. So first thing is heat's off, right? There's no heat at all, but I am on the biggest burner that I have. This also happens to be a completely cold pan. As you can see, my hand is sitting in the pan. Some people are going to say, well, that's the pan that you use, that you season like a wok, blah, 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 whatever. Again, my roommate tried to make a steak in here and just totally ruined the seasoning by putting some lemon pepper, and that kind of peeled off all that beautiful coating that I had in there from before. The sides aren't that bad. I'll probably just leave that on there. I could clean that off if I want to with some, steel wool, barkeeper's friend, that kind of vibe. But I'm the type that doesn't really like to use those hard chemicals anymore. So what I did was I just gave this a good wash in some warm, soapy water, Dawn dish soap, that kind of vibe. So we're here now. And after washing it, I did dry it off completely, but I'm just going to run a towel through there just to make sure that there's nothing on here anymore. See, there's nothing on the towel anymore. So we're pretty much clean. So one bit, and we are doing this in real time, so it's probably going to be like a 10-minute video, but so be it. Anyways, if you are following along, what you want to do is take your pan, put it on the biggest burner that you have, and what you want to do is when you turn your gas on, right, that's medium and this is low. You want to be somewhere between medium and low. Like I already have this marked off. Somewhere between medium and low on more of the lower end of the spectrum. So if you are stuck on like medium low and you're like, well, which side should I be on? Try the lower side first, because the hotter the pan is, the more likely you are to get stickage. So here's the boring part. Here's the part where I talk for about 2 or 3 minutes. You need to let this pan warm up. So look at what time it is now. It's 3:32. I'm going to give this at least 2 minutes, if not 3 minutes, right? So 3:35 is when I should technically put my oil in there. But let's talk about some other stuff that will guarantee you success of making eggs in a stainless steel pan. So first trick we already established was wash your pan before you use it. Make sure it's completely dry. Dry it off with a paper towel or some kind of lint-free cloth or something similar, whatever you have. Just make sure your pan is dry. Turn on your heat. Make sure you're between medium and low, closer to, say, the lower side, wherever that is on your dial or whatever. Some people have like dots, right, on their temperature setting thingamajiggy, whatever this is called, the knob or whatever. And it's like 1 through 10. If you had to stay stuck at 5, that's directly medium. I would say go to like 4, right? 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. Go to like 4. So just like 1 lower than where the true medium is, if you can do that. Okay, next tip or trick is you have to bring your eggs up to room temperature. Because if you have cold eggs straight from the fridge, it's not to say that they will stick, but why not increase your chances? Like take these eggs out. What you could do is you could put them in a vessel like this, right? Put some not warm, but just like room temp water in with the eggs. We're talking the whole eggs with the shell and everything, just to bring them up to temperature. Or you could do what I did, which was leave my eggs out on my countertop. I'd say about an hour before I'm ready to use them. So like I come home, right? I'm ready to cook my eggs for breakfast or whatever, right? I just came back from, wherever it is, getting the mail, walking the dog, whatever. What I could do is I could take my eggs out an hour before I think I'm ready to cook them. So that would kind of bring them up to room temperature. And basically what you're looking for is somewhere in the ballpark of like 68 to 70, 72, 75 degrees-ish. Let's see with my ThermoPro where we're actually at. I'm not going to probe the egg, but I'm just going to there's room temp, 71.2. Let me just put this on the egg. There you go, 71.2. So they are at true room temperature eggs. At least the shells are on the outside, right? So I'm just touching the end of the probe in there, 72 degrees. You kind of get the idea. Okay, so what you want to do is when you're starting with room temp eggs, you're just increasing your chance of less stickage. Okay, so let's go ahead and break the eggs. We'll put them, remember that pan's still heating up. right? That pan's still going. It's still warming up. And try to stay like, somewhat centered in your pan just to make sure that that's going on. So let me go ahead and crack open my eggs. Make sure this is clean as well, too. You're just improving your chances for success as you go. But whatever you decide to mix them, if you want to mix them in the same bowl that you're going to eat them in, like carryover cooking to cook over your eggs, that's fine too. I just did in here to kind of make it easier to show everybody. But you kind of get the idea. So there's egg number 2. I'm going to go for 5 eggs today. Kind of wiping my fingers as I go. By the way, now's a good time to hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button down there below if you like what you're seeing. Also comment, because I know I'm going to get a ton of comments. I think the other egg video I did, when was it? About 3 weeks ago, a month ago or so, got a few likes and a few comments. So, just ask any questions you want to. But maybe you have a suggestion for a future video. That's always nice too. You can put that in the comment section down there below too. It's also a good idea. Okay, so now basically you just want to mix these up. I just use a fork. You could use a whisk if you really want to. But what you're looking for here is you're looking for smooth and even consistency. It's okay if they're a little like chunky. See how like you got a little bits of white that didn't get incorporated? That's totally fine. One mistake people make is they salt this right away. Remember, salt and pan don't mix. That increases your chance of sticking. So I like to put the salt in maybe halfway through the cooking process. So that's another tip or trick, is I salt about midway through the process. So I would say these are about as beaten as I want to make them. That's good enough for me. Okay. So anyways, let's go back to our time and let's see how we're doing on time now. Remember, 3:35 or 3:36, that would be about 3 minutes. So this pan's been heating up for 3 full minutes. Now here comes the next secret.